Today I wanted to show you some things that I've been making in preparation for an author event that I'm going to be trying to sell my book at, or at least market my book, using a laser cutter. So the laser cutter is called a Glowforge, and the materials I'm using are yucca board, which is a hardboard made completely from eucalyptus, which is like heat-pressed eucalyptus, compared to other hardboards that are kind of bound together with glues or formaldehyde that emits toxic gases when you cut it with a laser cutter. So, also this is safe and cheap because these materials I'm going to be making, I'm going to give out, during the event. And wood is very expensive, and it's difficult to work with. And I'm making tiny little cuts on these little bitty placards, these little things you hang around your neck. So I thought a laser cutter would be a good idea. So I will show you the process of making them, and an easel that I've been using to prop up my poster. Like, because at these events you have like a table with your poster and your stuff, and I wanted it to look kind of classy. So let me turn the camera down on this and show you my stuff. So this is a little book cover that I made to hold these 4 comic books that I wrote. And look, you can buy all 4 for just $22. But the one I was going to show you is here. So obviously this is issue 4, it's the last one. And I hope you buy all of them and you won't be surprised by what's in it when I show you. So on this front page here, there's a little picture of this, which I drew before I even decided that I would make them myself. And this is a little wooden placard that, let's see if I can find the page here. There, it's right there. So these villagers gave this shaman this little amulet to celebrate that he did something, and that's all I'm going to reveal. And I thought it would be this would be a really good symbol for the book itself. Now, obviously, I've made a novel version of this comic book. Actually, the comic is derived from the novel, and I decided to use that little image also as a chapter heading for each one of these things, or a division, chapter division. I mean, a division within the chapters. So it's continuity. So I'll be selling this book. Actually, I'll probably be selling all of these things at this author event. And so I decided I would make these. And I mean, I would really love to have been able to carve hundreds of these by hand, but it's just it's a lot. And I wanted them to be kind of small because I imagine children will like these. I don't know, I think adults like them too. But the way I did it was I cut out separate layers and then glued them together and then varnished it. And some of them have this natural kind of grid backing and a hole in the middle for the eye, and some of them just I've done various versions where I painted them, and this is with orange paint, this is with copper paint. Ain't that cool? And the opposite. So I've just been having fun playing with different designs, and I'll just have them out for people to look at. Also, what I've done is I've strung a little thong through them so that you can wear it around your neck. And this fancy thing that was taught to me by a woman at the jewelry store, at the jewel and gem store, the rock and gem store. It's a way to make an adjustable necklace that's strong, you know, and then you just kind of, oh, you have a very long body? Oh, no worries, we'll just make the necklace longer. So, ain't that cool? So, these are, I will show you how I made these, and also, let me show you my poster and how I made the easel for the poster. So I adapted this to a giant thing. I'll just pull it over here. So here's it's printed on foam core, and and I had it framed at Mangelson's, and I just wanted to have this sitting on the table secured so that it wouldn't fall over. And the last time I used this, I had to prop it up with books, and every time I took a book out, it would slide. So this has just information about me and the book and designs I made. These are obviously not Mayan designs. This never appeared in Mayan times. It's just adapted for my purposes. So I think I will show you the thing I made for this first, and then I'll show you the amulets. Okay. All right, I'm down in the workshop, and I wanted to make something attractive to hold this up, something worthy of the quality of the writing, and so I thought wood would be a good idea, but I didn't want to screw it up. So I used this hardboard. It's called draft board, and it's basically the same stuff as that yucca board, but it's very thick and it's very sturdy, and it's just cardboard. See how I kind of smashed this because I was curious about what was inside, and it's really just cardboard. So it cuts really easily, and I made a nice little prototype, as you see. Can you see that? It's hinged, and it has arms on it that I can move up and down to clamp down on the thing, keep it secure. And also it has these little notches in the back that I can use to stabilize it if I ever take this outside in the windy area. This should be sturdy enough to hold the thing. So there you go. That's the easel that I designed, and it worked pretty well. So I took this design and I created it on a one-dimensional page on Inkscape, and then took that design and imported it into the laser cutter. And I'll show you that footage right now. While we're watching the last bit of this being cut out, I wanted to point out this glass tube in the back with the pretty pink glow. And that's actually what I look at when this thing is running, because it's fascinating. This is a sealed glass tube filled with gases that help discharge the energy of the laser. It's like 20% carbon dioxide, about 20% nitrogen, and the rest is hydrogen or xenon and helium. So that pink glow is evidence of the laser. It's being shot from one end to the other, and the glow is the nitrogen, which is basically absorbing the energy of the laser, and nitrogen transfers the energy to the carbon dioxide molecules, and the heat that arises is carried to the wall by the helium. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing little molecules absorbing heat and moving to the cooler glass wall to discharge that heat. And that pink glow is plasma. Isn't that fascinating? Okay, I didn't have the camera on for the first part of this because I forgot to turn it on. But what I did was I took these that I cut out on the laser cutter and I glued them together with PVA glue. Set overnight, and see, these are kind of floppy the way they are, not so rigid. Now they are quite rigid. See, they're sandwiched together, and it's nice and rigid. Now the final thing is to attach the uprights into the slot. I don't know if you noticed, but in my prototype, I only had one of these wing nut and screw combinations because I just didn't know how it would work. But it turns out that I think 2 works better because it's more stable and it looks better, I think. Look at that. Look at that. And that is what I'm going to put my my poster on. So next, I will show you how to how I assembled the little placards. Similar technique. I cut them out and then glued them together, and those I varnished. I don't know if I'm going to varnish this. Kind of like the way it looks right now. Oh yeah, and also, obviously this is really floppy, so I will, where's my wood? Stick a piece of wood in there. Oh, so it's not so floppy. I'll have to find a piece of wood that's not so loose. I measured this exactly for the right size, but I didn't. It's one too many. It's one too many. So, on to the next. I should take a moment to describe this. What you're seeing here are these little knobby things on the back of this character's neck, and sort of a thin kind of ear, and a long nose, 2 eyes, and an axe that's smoking, because this is Chalk, the long-lipped god, otherwise known as Rain God. And I have adapted it from Mayan glyphs. Obviously, this isn't a true picture of what they thought Chalk looked like, but for the comic book, I drew him like that. See, there's little knobby things, and there's eyes on stalks, and along, he looks kind of like a lizard kind of person. And there's another picture of him. So that's what you're seeing here. That's what you got. Chalk.
dressing room of me. When you enter the woods? Ah, yes. Yeah, and it's to the king of the fairies and his queen.
And here I'm just cleaning my brush with mineral spirits. And next I go to the drying phase, which currently in the summer I put them on the back porch. You see this one here only has one coat of the varnish on it, and the rest of these have 2 or more. I usually try to put 3 on there, and I like the variation of tones, especially when the glue, see that little residue, I didn't wipe it off. I kind of like that. It gives each one a little expression. And look over there, I've been experimenting with painting them. Instead of cutting them all the way through, I just cut off the masking tape and spray paint. These have bronze spray paint on them. And for the final section here, I wanted to show you all these little pieces in their final setup. I have a little box of the placards ready to give out to people. Let people kind of peruse them, find the ones they want. I also had a box I made of little laser cut business cards. I just sliced off the end of 2x4s and printed my stuff on there. And my comic books and all my wares set out for people to look at. Next up is the presentation board on its little easel. And I thought I'd just include a little image of myself sitting at the booth there right in front of the taco truck on the edge of the festival, and some footage of the festival itself. It was called Author Fest. It was in Papillion, Nebraska at the local library. It was all local authors. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you for watching so far. This is a long video for YouTube standards, I guess. But I did want to mention that I've created an additional separate YouTube channel called Bartmess Wrote, and I'm putting all of my author marketing stuff over there. And this is sort of a bridge from here to there. So you don't have to put up with me trying to sell you things. But there's a link in the description, and I might even stick a little box at the end of this video for you to click if you're curious. I will also right now slide over there and show you a little preview of what you might find. It's basically just me reading my stories to the camera. So here are the Rain God episodes. I've also created playlists for 2 books. The first one was Merlin and the Snow Fox, and I haven't read all of that book to YouTube, but it is available as an audiobook. Also, there's a playlist for all of the episodes for Rain God Returns. I hope you find it interesting, and I do appreciate you staying till the very end.